This is how I failed on beating Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only. But before that, I want you to hit the like button and subscribe because this will get crazy real soon, and recording and editing all of this takes me a very long time. This small thing such as like motivates me to do more of this content. Now, continuing on to where we left off, we fought Shiva and Fat Chocobo on first both tries. We also did all side quests and meet up with Aerith once again, dance like our life depended on it, and I actually did well. And then, we dressed up as well, insult Corneo, fell into the sewers, then Absu. Absu is interesting. He's got an annoying grab, basically my best friend at this point, and then the flood thingy as well, but he wasn't really that difficult. Shut up. Well, I did, but I finally managed to defeat it on my second try. Nothing really complicated to cover here, just defeated him like any other old boss. After defeating Absu, we rendezvous to Sector 7 through the sewers. We died to the Sahagins and arrived on the infamous train graveyard. We saw this moment. We died to the ghost mobs off screen and fight the ghost boss. And there isn't really much to highlight here. It's as simple as if the ghost in his physical form are only vulnerable to physical attacks. And if he's in ghost mode, only magic attacks works on him when he's in ghost mode, and that's basically the cycle all over and over again. I also beat it on the first try, and yeah. And now that we managed to beat them, let's move on from the easy boss fights, and I think it's time to move on to the difficult ones. Starting with... Okay, why is Ghoul considered as a hard boss? Well, because it can fly. So, here's the thing. Like any other boss, the first phase is pretty easy. You can attack the boss wheel at the front, but his wheels are basically invulnerable to any physical attacks, and this is where the game gets fun. I don't know if fun is the right word. Anyways, after dealing enough damage to our friend here, our friend will begin to fly, and I only have two choices at this point. Either attack him using our magic attacks, or use the Shiva summon to damage him. And guess what I did? Yep, I did both, and it's still not enough. So once again, I have to dodge as if I'm playing a Souls game, spam all the heals that I have until I can finally and slowly disable him from flying away. And you might think, oh, so he can fly away anymore, so you can finally kill him. Well, that's what I would like to think, but he has a third phase. And the problem with this phase is that he hits hard. Really hard. Like I died in this part and I felt broken. Really broken. But hey, let's try again. So I did all the same thing all over again. Finally went back to the third phase, and I made sure to attack his wheels with magic, deal physical attack when there's an opportunity, and I managed to beat it with the limit break. We died 2 times in fighting the Ghoul off screen, and so we're gonna add that to the tally. Now you might question, you might ask, why are you doing it off screen? Well, it's because I always forget to hit record. I always forget to hit record. It's the thing is, I want to section my battles in each and every video to make my editing process a little bit more easier, but the problem is I always forget to hit record when I'm retrying every boss fights. So that's what happened. Fun, wasn't it? Well, moving on. We fought the Whispers again. We watched this very emotional part with Biggs. We saved Marlene using Aerith. We died again to some random goon and have a very emotional moment with Jessie. And we are finally getting closer to the boss fight who would give me a huge headache. The Turks. In this battle, Reno and Rude has a few new moves in their sleeves that makes it 1,000 more harder than they are a video ago. I tried for quite a few times to tank their combos and have no choice but to be in the defensive instead of the offensive, and I think that's the best strategy for this fight. And that's not even the hard part in this boss fight, it's the pyramid. So, the pyramid traps you as if it's an instant KO or petrified. And anything I do is basically an insta-death. Remember that I can't use my party members, so I'm stuck at the time. I have no choice but to wait that there might be a chance to finally break free, and it's only when Rude finishes me off. You can say that, oh, just tank it, and that's what I want to do. If only that pyramid doesn't slowly damage me as well and I'm not at 1 health, then maybe I can tank it. So I tried doing this. Before hitting the second phase, I quickly applied regen and barrier and even have my revival earrings on. And I managed to do so. The regen instantly heals the damage I get from the pyramid, and the barrier reduces the damage from Rude and his helicopter. And it's actually doable. And with that, I made sure to deal with Reno first so that there won't be any other pyramids. Took out the helicopter and finally reached the final phase of this fight. It introduces us to the wombo combo of the Turks, and with no other choice than to run, tank, and guard, I have no choice but to prioritize defeating Reno first. So, I put Rude to sleep and deal damage to Reno as much as possible. And when Reno was taken care of, I tried poisoning Rude. Summon Chocobo and Moogle Summon for the extra wind damage, and it was only a matter of time till I finally defeated the duo. After that, I died this amount of deaths. I don't remember anymore how many times I died to them. And in this part, well, this is the part where I failed at beating Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only. So, I made sure that in my rules, I can only use one of the party members if Cloud is not present in the current scenario. In Chapter 13, the party got separated and you have to play Barret in this situation. And so, I can only use Barret for the whole run until Cloud came back and it's finally controllable. So, how did I fail, you ask? Well, it's because the boss in Chapter 13 forces you to change to Tifa to proceed with the story, and I had to switch in order to do that. A cutscene played, and I immediately went back to using Barret. Let me know in the comment down below if this is the part where I failed at beating Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud only run. This got me a couple of tries, but we managed to finally beat it, and it took me a total of 5 tries to finally defeat it. We finally saved Wedge and went back to Elmira. Cloud wants to save Aerith but failed to persuade Elmira itself. This then finally started the last side quest of the game, and we then completed every side quest and died a few times to some unique mobs. I'm just gonna add it to our tally. And moving on again with the story, we went to see Corneo. Sorry, it's Don Corneo for information, but instead meet Leslie, went back to the sewers, and died from a Sahagin once again. We started this video by defeating Absu, and we're gonna finish this one by defeating him again. So, what's the gimmick this time, you might ask? Well, this time, he has his children. He, she, it? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Well, anyways. There's so many Absu shots in the field, really, and it's very annoying. Triple slash usually it is a good quick damage dealer to the boss, and it's basically unusable right now because of those shots. So what I did, well, I quickly applied haste, regen, and just pump fire as much as possible and kept this pace out up until I finally and we eventually did this. And this is where I'm gonna end this video. I really want this to be the last part of the series, but it really made me want to show this part as soon as possible to you guys. And I'm hoping to know your opinion on whether I failed this run or not. So please, if you are watching this till now, let me know your thoughts in the comment down below. And if you wanna see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. You can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind, and press the ring button to stay updated in my future videos. I'll make sure that the next video is the last part of this series. And if you haven't watched the previous parts yet, you should check it out as well. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.